So the task that I have been given was to take a teacher's technological problems they have in a classroom and to give them suggestions of what they can do to make their life just a little bit easier. So the teacher that I have chosen is Miss Martin, and Miss Martin texts out. Now the problem that Miss Martin has is that her students simply just do not know how to type, and because of this, the process takes twice as long to complete for core assignments. Now, what Miss Martin wants is for her students to develop their typing skills and for them to understand where certain keys are on the keyboard. Now, can technology solve this problem? I do believe that technology can solve these problems. I think that having a big visual can help her students. I think that having colored keys can help with memorization of where they are specifically. I think that having a typing game can also help as long as they are consistent with it and it is repetitive. Now, a little bit more about Miss Martin's class is that she is a first grade teacher, so it is a first grade classroom. She teaches all subjects, and these students are 6 to 7 years old. In Miss Martin's class, there is not a lot of diversity. She has a total of 17 students. 90% of those 17 are Caucasian, and the other 10% are minorities. The technology that she has available in her class is one-to-one Chromebooks, a smart board, and a document camera. The outline of the lesson that I have put together will cover an objective, the 3 technology tools along with their activities, the ways to assess these tools and the students, and the curriculum alignment that this lesson will target. Now, the objective of this lesson that I put together is to allow all students to identify and recognize the letters on the keyboard quicker. This will help speed up the process with core curriculum assignments. So the first technology tool that we're going to talk about is the Big Visual. The Big Visual comes with a game called Slap. It consists of a big visual on the wall. This game requires a bulletin board with teacher-made keys resembling a computer keyboard. This game also requires 2 fly swatters and large index cards that have capital letters on them, just like the keys. And as you can see right here, you will see the letters, you will see the enter and shift key, and all of that. Now, the directions to make this bulletin board, you will need the same colored, same size styrofoam take-home containers, 1 for each letter and number, and 2 for the longer keys. There will need to be 7 colored papers to be cut to the correct size of each key. As far as the activity for this big visual, first there will need to be 2 students to go up to the visual and play. The teacher will show the 2 students a card that has a letter on it. Once the teacher shows the card, the 2 students will then slap the correct key on the keyboard with their fly swatters as fast as they can. This lesson will help the students with processing the information quickly and make their actions become faster while at the same time working on their spelling. Now, as time goes on, the teacher will raise the level of difficulty, such as using words, such as their spelling words that they might have for that week, the sight words that they'll have, passwords, and even usernames. Now, the second technology tool that we're going to talk about is colored keys. The teacher will acquire 7 colored adhesive dots to match the bulletin board colored keyboard in that specific order. The teacher will then attach the different colored dots to the appropriate keys. As you can see in the photo to the right, you will see orange letters put together. You will see some yellow right here, a section of green, like a darkish bluish green right here. Then you'll see more of a blue here, and then the purples will be over here. This is simply just to help the students with memorization and to help separate these keys by colors. Now, the activity involving the colored keys that was just showed on the last slide is that the students will first get a small tile with the capital letter written on it. The student will then pick up the tile with a letter on it and place it on the correct key. At first, the students can use the bulletin board display to help them locate the specific letters. As time goes on, they will no longer need to use the display. This lesson will help the students with visualization and help them memorize where certain keys are on the keyboard. The last technology tool that we have is the typing game. This lesson is an online typing game. This game will be used as practice and teacher-directed assignments. There are 31 lessons in every section. This website contains 5 sections. The sections are typing exercises, typing practice, musical typing, typing lessons, and speed typing. Now, these 5 sections contain every drill that students need to develop their typing skills. To the right here are just 1 through 24. That's all I could fit. But these are the titles of what these lessons are. Now, the first 2 lessons explain and show the student where hand placement and finger placement should be. This is really neat because the lessons go that in depth and are specifically detailed. The students will play this game independently during center time. This will happen at the computer station. Each student will have access to this game for at least 1 hour per week. Each child will work on these skills at their own pace. Now, as you get farther into the lessons, the level of difficulty will increase. As you can see in lesson 17 right here, they focus on brackets, which is not really something that that you may think is important to students, especially at this younger age, especially being in first grade. But this is just to show that this online game will not just focus on letters, but it will focus on the other keys, such as the brackets, such as the shift and enter keys as well, and everything else. This will help them because it will apply to all of the subjects that they have. Now, to assess the students using this big visual, the student will be given the fly swatters and a card with their information. This information could be their username and password to log onto the computer or sight words. The student will then prove to the teacher that they know where the keys are by slapping the keys in order within a reasonable amount of time. This assessment is to be evaluated at the teacher's discretion. As far as assessing the students with the colored keys, the teacher is first going to match the 7 colored stickers to each key without letters. The teacher will then have individual tiles of the same color that is different from the other 7. The teacher will place all the keys in front of the student, and they will have to place them wherever it is they think that lettered key belongs. The student will have 1 minute to complete the task. this assessment will not just include letters, but it will also include other keys such as the shift key, cap locks, tab keys, backspace key, etc., everything else. Now, every key will be valued at 2 points apiece. 75% accuracy is considered satisfactory. Now, for assessing the students in this typing game, there are multiple ways. What is neat about this typing game is that it has its own capability of tracking and monitoring the students' work and progress. That is just one way of assessing these students. Now, using the tracker that this game has, the teacher can print off those weekly reports to have conferences with the administration or parents. Another way to assess the students is that the teacher can time the students on the same lessons for that week. And one more way to assess the students, if the teacher is willing, then he or she can stand right next to the student or behind them and evaluate their work through observation. I like this typing game because it facilitates more of an independent activity. Now, for the curriculum alignment for the International Society for Technology and Education Standards, this lesson does focus on Empowered Learner 1D, which states that the students will have a better understanding of the fundamentals towards technology operations. They will develop their ability to pick and choose how they want to use current technology, and will in the end be able to transfer their knowledge of technology forward. And for the curriculum alignment for the Common Core State Standards, it falls under Arkansas Computer Science Standards for grades K through 8. This specifically follows K through 4 and falls under the Computers and Communications section. And this states that students will utilize appropriate digital tools for various applications and analyze various components and functions of computers. Now, if you are a teacher and you're having any of these problems, I do highly suggest that you just try these in your classroom and see if they do work for you, because you never know. I do think that these will help Miss Martin if she is willing to try them. And thank you for listening.